What's up, guys? My name is Mark.
My name is Anita.
And welcome to
Mark and Anita.
And today we're going to be talking about marriage and
age.
And
does it matter?
Who knows? Does it? We're going to be talking about that today. We know a lot of people look at us and like, oh, wow, these guys are married. This is a young couple.
Right.
Yeah, we are. I'm 22. Anita's 22. And we've been married for 1 year now.
Yeah.
So we got married at the age of 21.
Yeah.
And we know what the idea is they're out there for people who are 21. Oh, you're not done with school. You haven't finished life yet. Oh, nothing has hit you. You're not ready. Marriage is a lot.
Yeah.
And we're here to address all those stipulations and ideas.
Yeah, and why you shouldn't be scared to do the right thing, because sometimes people, especially if you're Christian, because running a relationship like outside marriage, because first of all, you can't have sex before you're married as a Christian, because that's forbidden in Christianity. As you all read the Bible, you can't have all that before marriage, so you're restricted to a lot of things. You can't do that, and you all know how this body tempts us a lot, how it's so hard to really fight that. And if you're a person who really can't control yourself, I think this video should be for you, and maybe you'll open your eyes so that you can make the right decision from now on.
I have definitely experienced. Anita was able to save herself from marriage. I unfortunately was not able to. But I always knew, because of the home I came from, that that's what I'm supposed to do. And in a relationship before, I was married. It was like 3 years, and there's a lot of things that went bad. There was like cheating going on, and all kinds of things just went bad. And I knew Anita for a very short time before we did get married, but I knew from the beginning of time, like from the time that I met her, this is the woman you're supposed to marry. This is the woman you're supposed to be with. Don't let the time and the energy you spent restrict you from this blessing that I'm giving you. You've went through a lot, and this is it. This is the answer. You did it your way, and then God says, now I'm gonna show you how to do it the right way. And that's when Anita came into my life, and that's when we were able to get married, and we now have peace. And yeah, it's a blessing whenever you're married, but outside of marriage, especially going up from a Christian home, it's forbidden, like Anita said. And one of the Bible verses here that can attest to that.
Before you bring the Bible verses, I'd like to just let them know that we were scared to get married at an early age, because first of all, I had plans like everybody else. I had plans to go through school and finish school, get a job, buy a house. Maybe when I turn 25, that's when I'll think about marriage. Like I closed relationships because I just wanted to focus on my school, focus on my plans that I had since I was a child. And like I did not even imagine that I would be 21 or 22 and married. I did not imagine myself in that life. But as you can see, God, the way he plans things is not the way we plan our things. But I'm not regretting that, because I've seen like the beauty that it's actually that comes with getting married early. Well, it may not be for everybody, but as a child of God, you have to always expect the good things. So yeah, like Mark was now going to share the verse that when you're a Christian, and you feel like you're young and you would like to be in a relationship, if you can control yourself, if you can keep yourself from doing what the Lord dislikes in marriages, and have the relationship and have it for like years without you sinning against God, then honey, you're good to go. But if you're this kind of a person that every time you see your partner you feel, hey, you start getting butterflies in your stomach, then you have to think about doing what's right. And if you've been scared to do what's right, like getting married, at least getting engaged, at least that, you pay the dowry to the family if the traditions require that.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 9, it says, or no, let's say from verse 8 to 9.
Mm.
So I say to those who aren't married and to the widows, it is better to stay unmarried just as I am. But if they can't control themselves, they should go ahead and marry. It's better to marry than to burn with lust. And, as we all know, this was the topic for today is not sex before marriage, is marriage and age. Doesn't matter. But this is a very important part of it because at a young age, there's a lot of temptations going on. There's a lot of things that you can get into. And as a Christian, if you want to stay loyal to God, it's very important to be able to have self-control.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to be in a relationship, especially in today's ideas of relationships, and not have sex, But that's why it's very important, most importantly, to have a relationship with God. If you have a relationship with God, even if you've already fallen into the sin like I did, if you have a relationship with God, God can open your eyes so you can see who is there for you, who is the person you're supposed to marry. And believe me, when you find that person, you'll know. But it all comes from having a relationship with God. If you don't have a relationship with God, it is very, very tough to tell who is the right person for you and who's not. And as you can see, me and Anita, our relationship, we just fit so well. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that we both of us could get along the way we do. We both come from the same background, both really understand each other, both know how to talk things out. And we're not perfect, of course, but I couldn't see myself being with anybody else in this world other than Anita. And
the same to me.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying right now. But yeah, that's the truth. I know that she's the one that God chose for me, and I'm happy about that decision. And that's just God.
Yeah.
That's literally just God.
Yeah, so basically, if you cannot control yourself, it's better you just get married. Then you'll be like, what? Like, married? Like people our age, people younger than us, 18, and like the age we are, you tell them that, you know what? I think you should get married instead of living this kind of life you're living. The person would think you're actually abusing them. I'll be like, what? Marriage? I'm not even done with school. I don't even have money to get me through college. Like, what do you mean marriage? But let me tell you, it's better. The Bible says that if this one hand is causing you to sin, you better cut it off. You better lose it. Now, what does it have to do with marriage? Now, how will you benefit if you meet your desires, the desires of your body, and fail to meet the desires that God is requesting from you? Like, you would rather, use a little bit, at least not go through school, because those are worldly things, and then you do what's right before God. Maybe you get married, you use the little money you have and get married and do what's right before God, and then trust God to help you through school and also to provide all those things that you think you cannot provide, than living a sinful life and saving, yourself to get things of this world.
And the Bible also, sorry to cut you off,
it's okay.
is not trying to say that, you get married for sex. No, that's not what the Bible is saying. It's saying if you can't control that desire, as a Christian, we have reservations when it comes to sex before marriage. So we're, of course, going to, try to hold out on it. You know what I mean? We're going to try to resist it as much as possible. Because you love God. You understand? Because you love God, that's what makes people burn with lust, because they're trying to stop themselves from falling into it. But at the same time, they want to fall into it. And it's for God. It might be, I would say it for a godly reason. If you're not really committed to God, it's just something maybe you want. It's not really burning with lust, because you're just going to satisfy that urge and whatever you want. But when you're burning with it and suffering with it, and you're a Christian, it can be very hard to, stay committed to God, because you're always dealing with this guilt. And God is saying, like I said, have a relationship with God and tell God, hey, God, I want to get married. I don't want to fall into sin. I don't want to do any of those things. Or maybe if you've already fallen into sin, you've already seen what it's like outside of marriage, and you want to come clean and you want to get right, with God. Just ask God. God will provide the person for you. I fasted and prayed for 3 days, and that's when me and Anita really got connected. That's when my eyes were open. I was like, because I tested God. I said, God, this is a woman for me, show me a sign. I got 3 signs in all those 3 days that I was fasting and praying. So God will do it. There's nothing God can't do. You just have to trust and believe.
Yeah.
And you can. I'm a living testimony because I walked out of a 3-year relationship and went into a marriage, maybe a month later. You understand? That's one of the things that I can testify to say. Also, there's a lot of stipulations. There's a lot of identities that come with getting married. Like Anita said, school and all those things. School, getting your life together, and all that. It's not bad to get married and grow together.
And grow together.
I mean, I see like there's a lot of value that, like, right now we're still in school. We're not rich or we're not big yet or anything, but we're
still
gonna get
living
there.
our lives.
Yeah, and we're gonna get there together.
Yeah, we're still having plans to go through school. And by the way, the Bible tells us in the book of Romans that when you have one rope and you want to break it, it's easy for you to break just that rope. But when you get 2 ropes and tie them together and try to break it, it will even become harder. You know, it's harder to break 2 ropes connected together than it is to break just one single rope. So basically 2 people are even better than one. Because when I was still single, every decision I made was based on what came into my mind. But now if I want to do something, I can always run to my husband and I'm like, hey, I would like to pursue this career. What do you think about it? Like, you can trust him because he's your soulmate. You understand? And he will lead you. You guys can discuss, and I can do the same to you, and life becomes even more easier. Like, we get so scared to get married early because we think that marriage comes with a lot of problems. But yes, the problems are there. That's when you get a wrong person. This is why Mark is telling you that he fasted for 3 days so that God could show him the sign. So don't jump into men like the girls out there. Don't jump into men that you don't know just because, you know, you want to get married and fulfill the urge of the body. And also the women, don't just see any girl, because you don't marry the look. You have to make sure you marry somebody's heart. That's the only way you can last in marriage. Like, if you get the right person, trust me, your life will become even better than you think. So to us, like, would say that age is just a number. Age is a number, and like all the things we were scared of, we thought that we would, you know, encounter just because we got married so early, we did not even see any of that. Everything is just positive. Well, not everything, but I can say like maybe 95% of the things are positive. The things you think are gonna be negative, you're not going to see them if you have that right person and if you've been led by God. And also, the way you can be led by God is by praying, by seeking help from the elders, especially your parents. You need to make your parents your number one best friends and tell them everything you need, because they will help you, because they have been there, they have done that, they have learned, and they have gotten a lot of experience from that. So why ask a person outside of your family? It's your family that you have to consult first, because those are the people that really, really love you. If you go outside your family and ask your friends, ask somebody else, they will lead you the wrong way. The only person you can trust is God, first of all, but you can trust your parents because they love you more than you think.
I'll say this, because there's people out there who come from broken families, who don't have people who are married as their parents. And what I'll say to that is, God is a father. God, at the end of the day, is family. You have a relation. Main important thing is to have a relationship with him. If you don't have a good supporting cast with the family, if you don't have a good supporting cast with friends, God will fill in each and every one of those roles. We are blessed that we had our parents there to help us, and that we grew up in a Christian home.
Or maybe you can ask a pastor if you don't.
Even a pastor. What's it called? Your family is, our family really is, our godly family is those people who, you know, who serve God with us. God has called us to be his children, which means we're all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. So consult your family. It doesn't have to be biological family. It can just be your Christian family. And most importantly, be God, because sometimes we might have, you know, people who are Christian, who are the same religion as you are, telling you things, but at the end of the day, it's really up to God. Because we had people who were Christian too, outside of our family members, tell us, hey, you're too young. You know, they're servants of God as well. But at the end of the day, We had support from our parents.
Yeah.
You know, we had support. We knew from God it too. We weren't pressured by our parents to do this. We did this because God put it there. God is
and
the one
it also felt right to do it.
Yeah.
So basically, if you really are young out there, like, and you would like to get married, just follow what we've told you. Consult your parents first. Consult God, then go to your parents, then discuss it with your partner. Make sure you guys agree on one thing. Make sure you're on the same page, because you know, two people can be working together but they have different minds. Make sure like the two of you want this, and then go to your parents and then get advice from there. Then let God take control of the rest. Don't get scared. Don't be afraid of anything. Age is just a number. You can be 18 years but still have the mind that thinks even better than a person who's 50 years. It's very possible. So don't let age deceive you.
Yeah. Last I checked, that there are people who are 30, 35 who are still single. They have the job, they have everything, but they can't find the person to be their life with. And that's why I still think that when it comes to education, when it comes to the things that you want to do personally, I think that if you want to get married, getting married outside of those things, like getting married before those things, I feel like it's a nice way. It's a good route to go. You haven't established yourself by yourself. You didn't go through school by yourself. You didn't go through this by yourself. You didn't make who you are by yourself. You kind of grew together. And so we understand we were once
the value of each other. You grow up to respect each other and know where you guys came from. Even in the older age, when you want to, when you want to turn against the other, you just remember the hardships you guys have been through, and then you have that respect for one another, and that will help you even continue to grow through those tough times. School is very important. Like, don't get married also and settle down with just easy jobs. You need to get married and be able to motivate each other, at least to go through school, so that you guys can get a better life
or start a business. Anything that you guys, was you and the person next to you. This marriage is for life. You understand? You can always go back to school. If you have a person right now that you really love, and you think that you both feel like you want to get married and you guys are the perfect people for each other, don't waste time. Don't waste time and wait for and let all the elements kick in first. This is for life. You understand? This is for life, and there's always going to be that commitment. I'd rather be more invested in a life investment than something I can do for 4 years than maybe something that I want to do of my own. Because I mean, you're gonna have to do something of your own and then bring another person into it. I mean, I just think that is how society has made it all look. And now we're 1 out of 2 relationships, marriages, I think, end in divorce. And my favorite pastor, Michael Todd, preached. He said, if I told you a plane was gonna go in the air and you had 1 out of 2 chances to make it to your destination, would you get on that plane? And that's why a lot of people are scared of marriage, because a lot of ideas have been put there about age, about what you need to do before that, and not, if you find the person you love and God tells you, hey, that's the person you're supposed to marry them. That's not what society is saying. And society, as we all know, the worldly things, they contradict God. People back in the day, back in olden times, they were married at 18, 19, some of them even 17. You know what I mean? And some of those people grew together and developed together. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't do your own thing. If you're not ready for marriage and you want to do your own thing, go ahead. But if you want to get married, these are the things that you should look at. Don't look at it as a life commitment. Look at it as something positive. Don't be scared. And like we said, have a relationship with God. That's the number one thing that's going to tell you the right way to go. If getting married is going to make you crash and burn, God is going to let you know about that. If God says, hey, this relationship is going to be successful, then it's going to be successful. If God says 10 years from now you guys get married, that's what's going to work out. This is just our story and our message to other people that God has given us to share with everyone. So
yeah, we hope that it helped you and that you also got a little bit. We just didn't want this video to be long because there is a lot to talk about, because I feel like we just started, but we can end here. If you have more questions about anything we did not discuss about, because we have a lot to talk about, just the video is gonna be like 5 hours long, and you guys are not going to stay here for 5 years. I mean, I'm sorry, for 5 hours. So just to cut it short, leave comments in the comment sections below so that we can answer you according to what answers you have and questions you have. I mean, I'm sorry, according to what questions you have. Yeah, that's it we have for you today.
Love you guys.
Love you so
share,
much.
share,
Yeah.
share with everybody.
Yeah.
Subscribe
if you haven't done it already.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe. I can't say
Subscribe. And like as many likes as possible. And you guys are awesome. God bless you so much. We love you and we're happy that you're part of this family. Without being said, have a blessed day, have a blessed week, have blessed days ahead. Peace.